In this tutorial, we're going to create a complete photography website using only free tools. The free version of the Neve theme, the free version of Elementor, a starter site from the Neve theme, and using the theme customizer options to create the header, the footer, and the blog section. And all the other pages and content will be created using Elementor. And if you have any questions throughout this tutorial, please leave them in the comments down below. And make sure you subscribe and ring the bell because the ThemeIsle channel produces great videos and you don't want to miss them. My name is Bjorn Allpass for ThemeIsle, and we're getting started right now. First, let's do a quick preview of the site we're making. It's a photography site. We are this person right here, the fictitious photographer, and we have created a website for ourselves, and this is what it looks like. We have a header, services section, portfolio section with nice lightbox galleries that people can scroll through and look at images, call to action to get in touch, an about me section, contact section, follow me section, and our footer. And we also have more pages. We have a dedicated project details page where we can list out projects we worked on and the details about them. Photo event, in this case an exhibition that we're putting on at this location right here, Histon Museum in England. I believe it's in England. And then the services, just a basic description of what we do again. The about page is about me as the photographer, the fictitious photographer. We have the blog page. We'll change these layouts and see how we can have different layouts really easily using the Neve theme. And then we can read the full post if we want to. And then we have the contact page, which is just the contact section from the home page, which allows someone to reach out and contact us and hire us to take pictures. And that's the website we're building. This is the website we're starting with. I've installed WordPress, and that's all I've done so far. If we go to the themes, we want to add a new theme. The 2019 theme is good, but it's not great. We want to add a great theme to this site to make a great website. So I'm going to go to Add New, and I'm going to search for the Neve theme, which is a great theme. It's fast, it's lightweight, and it has a bunch of starter sites that we can use with various page builders, which makes our site building super easy. I'm going to click on Install and then Activate on the Neve theme. Then I'm going to delete the 2019 theme. It is a security risk to just have themes in your repository inside of WordPress just sitting there, not being updated, not being taken care of. So it's best to just delete them. You can always download them again in the future. And we have our Neve theme right here. I'm going to close these messages. I'm going to click on Neve options on the left. Then I'm going to go to Sites Library. Here the headline reads, ready to use pre-built websites with one-click installation, which is fantastic. We can choose from Elementor, Brizy, or Gutenberg. Gutenberg only has one option. Brizy has a whole lot more. And Elementor has a lot as well. We're going to pick one of these pre-built sites and start customizing it to customize our site, which is going to be a photo studio site. So let's see if there's a website that's already pre-built in here that looks like it could be used for photo studio. So I'm going to scroll through. If you get Neve Pro, which is an upgrade to the Neve theme, adds a lot of features. It also adds more pre-built sites. And here we have a photography theme. We have a freelancer theme, and that header image could be construed as a photography site. There's a lot to choose from, and I'm going to go with photography. Let's click on preview. We can see a preview of how it looks, and it looks pretty nice right out of the box. Then if we want to import it, we click on import in the bottom right. And here it shows what we're going to import. We're going to import content, customizer options, widgets, and we're going to install the Elementor page builder and the Orbit Fox plugin by ThemeIsle, which adds components to Elementor, among other things. I'm going to keep these three turned on because I want to have the whole website imported, and then I can always delete and tweak things as I go, which we will in this video. So I'm going to keep all these on. I'm going to click on import, and it's going to go through these steps. I'm just going to fast forward this video and come back when it's all done. Before I could even fast forward the video, it's all done already. So it goes pretty darn fast. Let's click on View Website, and we see our website right here. On our homepage, the photostudio.local, this is our homepage right here. We have our website imported, and this is an Elementor template. We can click on Edit with Elementor because it installed the Elementor plugin for us. Super simple. Now the first thing we want to do is, or the first thing I want to do, is edit our top menu area. Because Learning to Build is not a great name for our photography website, I'm going to put a little logo in here, And we might customize this menu a bit, or at least I'll show you how to do it if we don't customize anything here. So let's go into Customize. You can also get here by going to the dashboard and then Appearance and Customize. The first thing I'm going to do is hover over this title area. This is the site title. I'm going to click on Logo and Site Identity. And here you can change the site title if you want to. If you want to have words here, or we can add an image by clicking on Select Logo. And then we can go ahead and go to Upload Files. All these images you see here are imported by the Neve theme when it imported the starter site. These aren't anything I've uploaded. I'm going to upload my own by going to Upload Files, then clicking on Select Files. Then I have to find the file I want to upload, which is site logo. I'm going to click on Open. And there's our logo. I'm going to click on Select and Skip Cropping. And now we have our logo right up here. It's not the best logo. I just got an abstract camera and wrote Photo Studio underneath. And like I said, it's not the best, but at least it's something. For the logo width, if you want to change the width, sometimes the logos import and they're way too big. You can change the width by using the scroll bar down here. This might be way too big, for example. So you want to shrink it down to whatever size is appropriate. If you have words in your logo, you want to be able to read the words. And you want to make it so it's not too distracting in the header area. So now we have our logo in place. We also want to add a site icon. This little planet that you see up here, that is the default icon for websites. To add a custom icon, scroll down to Select Site Icon. I'm going to upload our custom icon, which is called Site Icon. It's part of my logo. It's not the entire thing, it doesn't have the words in it. It's just the image. The ideal dimensions for the site icon are 512 by 512 pixels. Click on Select and then click on Skip Cropping. And now we have our site icon up in the navigation bar. That's how easy that is. And now we've created, or we've defined our logo and our site icon, and this area on the left is complete. Now we can work on this area on the right, which is the primary menu. Let's click on Primary Menu. As we hover, this appears. We can turn the search function on or off by clicking this little eyeball here. And you want to have this on if you have a lot of content on your site. And you want to have people to be able to search your site. If you only have a few pages, for example, these ones here, Portfolio, About, Contact, and let's say you don't have a blog, then you probably wouldn't have a search icon. The search really comes in handy when you have large volumes of content. If you have a very active blog where you publish a lot, then a search would definitely be a good thing to have, and then keep that there. It's up to you, either way. If we want to add items to the menu, we click on Primary Menu, click on Edit Menu, and now we can add items by clicking on Add Items. Let's say we want to add a services page. Type services in here, click on Add, and we can drag and drop that to where we want it to be. I want that to be before About. It updates in almost real time on the right. And when we've added the services page through this method, it's actually created a page for us called the services page, which we can then later go on and edit. An important function of many menus is having a drop-down. This menu currently does have a drop-down under Portfolio. You can see the drop-down here. To create the drop-down, we have to indent the menu items, and we do that by clicking and dragging. Just like we move the services, we can move them around by clicking and dragging. We can bring project details out of that submenu. Now we have it out here and just have photo event for the submenu. We can put that back in there. We can add services to our portfolio. Now we have services gone from the main menu, but it's added to the drop-down. And you can create menus however you see fit. You can have multiple drop-downs as well. So services could be a sub-option from photo event. So we have 2 drop-downs like that. You can get all kinds of creative with drop-down menus. Usually it's best to have as few levels as possible to make it more user-friendly, but you can have a lot of levels if you want to. So that's how we edit our actual menu items in the primary menu, or any of the menus for that matter. Now if we go back into header, this is another way to get to the primary menu. Click on primary menu again, and we have down here a header builder. And all these options that we've seen so far, they're built into the Neve theme customizer options. So if you use a different theme, you may not see these options. What I want to do is rearrange how these menus appear and how our logo appears. I want to move our site identity, or our logo, in other words, to the top, put it right in the middle. Then I want to make our primary menu the full width, and I want to make it centered. I'm going to go to Layout, I'm going to center it. Now we have our nice logo and our menu right down here. And it's just a slightly different design, but I think it looks quite appealing. And you can add another option down below if you want to. You can drag and drop any of these options that you see here and have them appear down below the existing menu. So let's try menu icon. For example, put that in there. There's our menu icon. So it adds another row is the point. I don't want to add another one. I just want to show you what this does. I'm going to click on this X to remove it. Now we're back to our original, and I like that. That's a good look. Now the menu colors you might not like. Currently it's yellow. When you hover, it has this underline effect. If we go to Style under the primary menu, we can choose different skin modes and different colors. We can have just the basic method, which just has a color when you hover. You can have a box appear behind the options. This will only work if the hover color is a different color. Currently it's the same color as the box. That's not helpful. We can also have an underline, I guess an overline, appear above the menu items when we hover. And we can have what we had before, which is underneath. I like the underneath effect. I like how that looks. We can change the active item color, which is the item or the page that you're currently on. It's highlighted in the menu. Currently we're on the home page, and so it's highlighted in yellow. We can change that color to be, let's say, blue's overdone. Let's make it this green right here. I'm going to copy this hex code, and when we hover, we see it's still yellow. I want to copy this green hex code and make that our hover color. Now when we hover, it's that nice green color. And if you want to change the color of the menu items when they're not selected, currently it's black or really dark gray, we can change that using this items color option. It's going to copy this because I like that color. I'm going to change it to purple, just to show you how it works. So you see the purple now. I'm going to change it back to that gray because I like it. And there, we have our menu system at the top completed. Now we're going to go ahead and work on the footer. Right now the footer is just one line, super simple. This is not part of the footer, this is part of the page itself in Elementor. We can edit that in Elementor later. The footer is right at the bottom. Click on the little blue icon that appears. You can barely see it. I believe it says footer. We can also get here by going to the main options, going to footer, and currently it's just copyright, which is what we see down here. And we can change this by clicking on this copyright box. We can edit the text over here. So I want to call this the Photo Studio because that's our company name. I'm going to remove powered by WordPress and leave it just as that. It's a very slim footer. If you want to add more components to your footer, we have something similar to what we had in the header. In the header, we had 3 rows to work with. In the footer, we have 2. The footer top and the footer bottom, I guess it might be called. Yeah, footer bottom. And so we can drag and drop what we see down here to be above this section right here, this copyright section. So if we wanted to add a footer menu, we can just drag and drop that right in there. And we see a menu populated. It's not what we want, but we can change it. So our footer menu, if we click on it, click on footer menu again, click on footer menu down here on the drop down, we have our primary menu, which is showing right now, but we don't want that. We want to create a new one. So we're going to click on create new menu. Let's call this footer menu, click on next. It's going to add some basic legal items. Let's say privacy policy, add that. And terms of service, add that. And maybe refund policy. It's always a good thing to have. Add that in there. Now we see our menu right down here. I want to center it though, so let's center it. Let's go to back to the main top menu, go to footer, footer menu, layout, center it. It's not being centered, so we're going to do plan B, which is just shrink the footer menu area inside the builder here, and let's make it like that. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change this a bit. Let's reduce the copyright width and put the footer menu down below. You can drag and drop to rearrange these things however you want to do it. Let's extend that. Now we have the footer on the right over there. I'm going to put the copyright on the left. Let's go to the layout, align that to the left, and align the footer to the right. Change the colors to be white text. And when we hover, I want it to be white as well. There we go. Let's shrink this a bit, move it farther to the right without wrapping it. There we go. That's pretty awesome. Now we have our copyright and our footer menu on the same line. Now we have the option of adding more things above. We can add it right above here by clicking on or clicking and dragging in footer 1, footer 2, footer 3, or footer 4, which adds what's called a big footer. And we can customize what's in these widgets, these footer widgets, under Appearance, customize footer, footer 1, or by just clicking on footer 1. Takes us to the customizer for footer 1. We can click on Add a Widget. Let's add some text in here by choosing the text option. And I'm going to call this the headline is going to be the Photo Studio. And then inside the text, we're going to write just a quick blurb about what we do. The Photo Studios, taking great pictures or taking great photos is my passion. Hire me to immortalize your next event in pictures. And that's it. I'm going to shrink this down and I'm going to add footer 2. Inside footer 2, we're going to add, let's make footer 1 a bit bigger actually. That's a bit better. Footer 2, we're going to have something like our main menu from the top, just to repeat that main menu. Let's go to navigation menu, choose that for a widget. We're going to choose our primary menu. And here we have it listed vertically with a little pop out for our drop down. I'm going to title it links. And now everyone has a set of links they can go through to click on and go to the important pages on our site. Then I'm going to add footer 3. And now in footer 3, I'm going to add a gallery widget because why not show our pictures? Because that's what we do. We take pictures. So let's show them in the footer. Let's click on Add a Widget. Let's choose Gallery. Let's choose Add Images. And let's choose a bunch of images. Let's see if we can make them all the same size. These images in here are various sizes. 600 by 600 is what we want. That should be good. Let's just pick those 6. Create gallery. These are going to be our gallery images. We can move them around just by clicking and dragging and dropping. There's some options over here that you don't have to really worry about. Then click on Insert Gallery. And we have our gallery images right there. Let's call this or title it Some of My Work. That's very nice. Something you've probably noticed sticking out as we've been doing this is that this footer section has a white background. Quite commonly, the upper footer or the big footer has a different background color than the bottom, and it's usually lighter, which in this case it is. It's white versus black. And this theme or this site actually works quite well with that because we have a white row right here. We have a white row right here. So it fits with the layout of this site. So I'm just going to keep that as it is with a white background. If you wanted to change it, you have to do it with custom CSS. There is no option currently in the Neve theme to do this automatically for you by pointing and clicking. So you have to come out here, go to additional CSS, find the correct selector, and then change the background color. There are a bunch of other tutorials on this channel where we build websites, and in those, and in some of those, we go through how to do that. We actually change the background color for this footer. I'm going to keep this as it is because I like what we're working with. I like how our header looks, which is up here. I like how our footer looks, which is down at the bottom. I'm going to click on Publish to make sure we save our changes. If you don't publish it, your changes are not saved. You might lose them. So make sure you publish as often as you can. And now we're going to work on the content in the middle, which is the actual homepage content. So let's exit out of the customizer. Let's go to Pages, see what we're working with. We have a lot of pages going on. We see the front page right here. Click on Edit with Elementor. And it loads in Elementor. It loads our menu at the top. That's not editable here. That's only editable in the customizer. It has our footer at the bottom, also only editable in the customizer. And everything in the middle is created with Elementor, the free version of Elementor, so you don't have to pay anything for it, which is fantastic. The first thing we want to do is change the title of the site. Let's change this to what our company name is. Aptly named the Photo Studio. And let's change this from award-winning photographer to I'm the best photographer. Might as well be the best, right? In real life, I'm not, but on this fictitious website, I certainly am. And I want to have a better hero image because this one is nice for photography, but images that have people in them get better responses from people on a website. So we want to have a person up here, preferably someone attractive. It's called the hero image. You want to have this image draw the visitors in and make them want to read on your website. To edit the background of the header, quite often it's within the section itself. So click on these 6 dots. When you hover over a section, these 6 dots appear with a plus and an X. Click on that. Go to Style, and here's our image right here under the Background tab. So let's click on Choose Image, and we're going to upload another image file. This time it's going to be the hero image. Let's open that. And something very important to note, this is how most people build websites. They find an image or they take a picture and they upload it right to their website. The problem with that is the file size. This file size is 10 megabytes, which is going to take a long time to load. And you want your website to load as fast as possible. So what we're going to do is insert this image, because it's a nice picture, nice little hero image. This is what we do. We take pictures. It's awesome. But like I said, the image is too big. So I'm going to save this by clicking on Update, and we're going to install a plugin called Optimal, which is going to help us optimize images on the fly so our websites load as quickly as possible. So let's exit out of Elementor. We'll click on the 3 dots here, click on Exit to Dashboard, and then go to Plugins and Add New. Search for Optimal. This is what we want right here. Click on Install Now, and then Activate. And then I will go to under Media, go to Optimal. Currently it's connected. I'm just going to disconnect to show you how this works. So to reconnect or to connect in the first place, you either click on Register an email and API key. Super simple. Click on there, enter an email, and the API key will be sent to you. Or you click on I already have an API key, which I do, and you get that from your Optimal account. I'm going to click on here, have to enter the API key right here. It's going to open my Optimal account, and here we have my API key. Copy that, paste it in here, click on Connect to Optimal Service, and this is free for up to 1 gigabyte of image optimizations per month, which is quite a few, and it's going to connect. We have to wait on this page until it connects 100%, and then it's going to automatically start compressing images and optimizing them, the ones that already exist on your site. So once this is 100%, we can just leave here, continue our work, and know that our image optimization is taken care of, and we don't have to worry about it anymore. So that's done. Going to go back to Pages, going to go back to the Elementor homepage, click on Edit with Elementor. And it's not going to happen instantly. It takes a few minutes, but eventually this image will be loaded on the front end as an optimized version and not the 10 megabyte version. So let's carry on editing this page. Instead of just having view portfolio, I also want people to be able to book me right on this top area here. So I'm going to click on intersection. I'm going to drag and drop the intersection, and now we have the ability to add 2 columns or more than 2 columns, but I just want 2. So I'm going to drag and drop view portfolio into the right hand side. I'm going to change the design of this button. I don't like how it looks very much. Let's click on the pencil. Our design options are on the left. We have the content of the button itself, where we enter the name. We can enter some default button types, which don't look very good. Well, they look fine, but they're not very customized. So click on info. It'll change the design if you don't have anything preset already to be, I believe it's blue or green or orange and red. And that's all it really does. We just have that as default usually. And the link, this is the link where this button goes to. So ideally that would go to the portfolio page because that's what this is saying it is. Under style, we can change how the button looks. I'm going to change the background color to be white. And our text color to be, let's change it to, I think that's a bit better. And I'm going to change the background color so it's not fully transparent or fully opaque, I mean. So there's a bit of transparency. So you can see the background through it a little bit, about like that. The border type I'm going to keep at 2 pixels and at the current color. I'm going to add a border radius, so it has curved edges, make it 5 pixels. And I'm going to add nothing else. I'm going to keep that how it is. Actually, the hover color we're going to change. I want it to hover green like we have in our top menu up here. Click on the hover tab, click on the text color. I'm going to ballpark the green because I don't know the exact green anymore. I think that's pretty close. We hover over it, and now it goes to green instead of yellow. There's a bunch of other options you can play with. They're super easy to roll back if you don't want them. So click around, mess around, make mistakes, try different things, and see how it works, see how it looks. If you don't like what you did, you can either undo the options from memory, or you can go down here to this little backwards arrow which is a history tab, and click on any one of these and it'll revert back to what you had before. So for example, our button color, text color, if we hover, it's back to yellow. And the border is now not rounded. At the top is the most recent thing we did. Go back to there, click on that, and it's back to the green rounded corners. So you can go back in your history and revert back to other versions as needed. This only works while you're on the page. So if we were to leave the page and then come back, this history would not be here. However, the revisions tab would be. So you can revert back to older saved versions. That can be a little more drastic because it might change a whole lot of things at once. And you can't be very granular with it, but that might be what you need. Now this button, I like how it is. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to click over here, or right click. I'm going to paste it. I'm going to change the text of the button to book me. Make that lowercase so it matches the other one. And I'm going to add an icon. I'm going to click on icon library right here. And let's see. What should the icon be? Make it a book. That's kind of funny. Insert that, make it a book. I'm going to make the position after. I'm going to add some spacing between the icon and the word book me. And I'm going to align everything to the right. Like that. And this one, we're going to align everything to the left. So the buttons are side by side. And the header image at the top, I find this a little too in your face, the image, which is fine for some instances, but I want to fade it out a little bit. Let's click on these 6 dots again, and let's go to Style. Under the Background tab here, I'm going to go to Background Overlay, so switching tabs. Background Overlay, I'm going to make it a color. So let's add a color. Let's make it white. And make the overlay opacity. It's not changing. Let's make the blend mode down here normal. Now it should work. There we go. Make that quite a bit lighter. Let's change this font color to be dark. Text color. Let's just copy this hex code. Make that the text color for this one. And now we have, I think, a background image that doesn't detract from the actual content here. And I think we have a pretty good looking header. And I prefer websites that are a little brighter, not so dark. I'm going to probably change the black that we see throughout it as well, make it a little bit lighter. And we're going to move on to the next section, which is what do I do? We're going to continue editing this template so you can see most of the options that Elementor has to offer, so you'll be better able to edit whatever you're working on. I don't think you'd be copying my design exactly for a production site, although you could if you wanted to. It's a Neve starter site, plus whatever customizations I have here. You can go ahead and use those, but you probably want to create your own, something unique. And by following along and learning how the Neve theme works, learning how Elementor works, you'll be much better able to create whatever designs you want. So let's work on this section. What do I do? I'm going to change what do I do to services, because I think that's what this is, the services section. And as a subtitle, I will say, here's what I do. And I like the icon boxes they have. An icon box is an Elementor element that has an icon, a headline, and text down below. And I like how these look. I'm just going to change the colors and some of the words. So if we click on the edit button, we can see our icon here. We can go to the icon library, pick a different one if you want to. I'm just going to keep mine as it is. And I'm going to say worldwide. I travel around the world to take the best pictures. Boom. Going to do the same thing for the other two. I'm just going to fast forward while I do that. And then we're going to have a customized services area. All right, here we go. I changed these to worldwide, portrait, which is the same, and adventure, and I just wrote a quick blurb. I prefer to have the blurbs all the same size, so they're both 2 sentences. I don't like it when they're uneven. Some people do, some people don't. I personally don't. And you can adjust a lot of things to do with these sections by simply going into the style area, and then we can adjust the spacing, we can adjust the size. This is for the icon. We can rotate it if we want to. The content itself also has a lot of spacing changes you can make. Space between the title and the text. The content also has a bunch of settings, including spacing as well between the title and the text, and colors and typography and alignment and things like that. I'm going to keep mine pretty much how it is. I'm going to change all these back to what they were. You can just change these back to not 0, but just erase the number, and it goes back to the default. If you add 0, sometimes it has unintended consequences, especially for the size. But you get what I mean. Make sure there's nothing in the box, and then it'll be back to default. If you want to add more columns, you can simply right-click on this column widget or column icon, click on Add New Column, and you can copy or duplicate these things, move them over, and add another one if you wish. But when you do that, you have to be careful because it adds more space, or it reduces the space. So things that were on 2 lines could go to 3 lines. And then people like me would have to rewrite those descriptions and then put those back on 2 lines, whatever line number I wanted. I'm going to delete this column that I added because I'm happy with the 3. I'm going to go down to Portfolio. And this section won't change too much because as a photographer, you need a portfolio section. I'm going to change the subtitle. Here's a sample of my pictures. Not a very good sample. They're all kind of the same color scheme, same kind of area and topic. So not a great sample of pictures, but still, it's my sample. If you click on any of these, they pop up in this widget or in this light box, and you can scroll through as a gallery. Click on the X up here to close it. And that is the Elementor image gallery widget. You can easily add more images by clicking on Add Image. You can change the size of the image to fit pretty much wherever you want. Make it thumbnail. Reduces quite considerably, make it large, doesn't go any bigger than what we had. I'm going to keep it on medium. You can change the number of columns, 1 through 10 columns of images. You can add links to the images. So currently when they click on this image, it goes to a media file, which means it opens in a light box to show a bigger image. The light box you can have turned on or off if you want to. There's a lot of styling options as well in the styling tab. I like how this looks. I'm going to keep it how it is. Let's scroll down. Call to action. Do you want to work with me? Let's be a little more upfront. Give me a call and we'll take some pictures. And get in touch, an exclamation mark at the end of get in touch. And I like that stanza. I like the color. I'm going to change the about me to be white. Let's change the background from black to white. Let's go to advanced. No, let's go to style. Background, color, let's make it white. And then we've got to change the text because the text is all invisible now. So let's change the text color to black. There we go. And I want to add a border on the bottom to be a divider between these two. Before we had this section was black, this section below was white, so it's a distinct difference. Now the difference is gone. And so I want to add a little border just to make it separate. Under the settings for that section, go to border. Under the style tab, we're going to add a solid border. We're going to add just a 1 pixel border at the bottom. So I'm going to click on this as a link to unlink all these. And at the bottom, I'm going to make it 1 pixel. In fact, first I'll make it 10 so you can see what it looks like. Let's give it a color of black. So here's our 10 pixel border at the bottom. Let's change this back to 1. Harder to see, but you can see it's still there. So we have a nice border separating the two. I'm going to change the color to be a little lighter. I find that black a little aggressive for that border color. Let's just put it down to a lighter gray. There we go. That's good. This isn't me in the image, but this actually looks like it could be the guy from this stock photo. So that's good. That's a nice coincidence. It's not the same guy, but they look pretty similar. So we have this About Me section. The Read More button goes to the About page. So that's good. That's where it should be going. And I'm going to change the button style just to be the opposite. So I want to have not filled black, but a border of black. So I'm going to come into here, choose a background color, make it white, make the text color black. I'm going to give it a border solid. It already has that. Okay, so border's black. There we go. And then in the hover, we're going to change the color to be green, border color green, There we go. Now it fits in with the rest of our color scheme. We have some yellow still. I don't want to do everything in green, but you could. You can easily make everything green or whatever your brand color is. Then we have a small contact us section, essentially, which is send me a message. It's a call to action to submit this form or give me a call or visit 21 Jump Street in San Francisco and come and hire me directly. So I'm going to keep this section as it is. This is the contact form widget inside Elementor. This will send an email right from Elementor, so you don't need any other plugins. You can do it right like this. There are plugins you can install, like Contact Form 7, which has a dedicated Elementor widget, but you don't need it. You can use the Elementor contact form right here. And then the call to action to follow me, let's change this logo to be our logo. There we go. Let's change the background color of this section to be white, because I don't have a white version of our logo, unfortunately. And it doesn't look very good, having this black color. There we go. Now we gotta change all the text to be black. And there we go. We have all our widgets in place. For the social buttons, let's change the hover color to be green. Let's go to style, icon hover, primary color, green. And now they're all green. Super simple. You do have to add your links in. So Facebook, the Facebook icon here, the Facebook button, doesn't know what your Facebook page is. So you have to click into here and add your Facebook link to there. Same with Twitter, Google+, whatever you want to add here. You want to add more, just click on plus, and you can add a lot. So if we go to icons, we have a lot of social icons in here. They're all listed right here. And let's see, I want to add YouTube. There's YouTube. Let's add that in. Boom. Got another one. It's that simple. Just add your link in here and you're done. And now I believe we're done the homepage. We've customized everything to how we want it. You've learned how to use a whole bunch of different widgets, and you can go out and start customizing your own. But there's more. We have to create at least the services, about, blog, and contact page. I'm going to click on update. And luckily these other ones go a lot faster because a lot of the elements we've already created, or at least created the styles for them, so we can copy and paste a lot of things. So I'm going to exit out of here, exit the dashboard. And the way I prefer to do this is I right click to open the editor in its own tab. So if I, not right click, sorry, I could control click or command click. So it opens the edit with Elementor for the home page in its own tab right here. Now we can copy and paste things to other areas. So let's open the services page. I have to go to edit first and then edit with Elementor. And this is all it is. Currently there's nothing there. I'm going to copy and paste our services. So let's just copy this section, come back over here, and paste it right in. Boom, there's our services. And this part that's black down here, this is the Elementor editor. So whatever happens in here is not visible on the front end. It's just in the backend editor where we need to use these buttons. I'll prove it to you. I'm going to update this, going to click on preview to preview this page. And we see that black part is not there. But it's all white now. There's no separation between anything. So I want to add, at the very least, a border to the bottom of this. Go to border, border type of solid, click on the link to unlink them, put a border on the bottom, make it 1 pixel, and make it lightish gray. Let's update that. Now it's updated, the preview is automatically refreshed, and we see our border down below. And that's a lot better. But I also want a call to action, because it's nice for them to see the services, but once they see the services, how do they get in contact with me? So I want to add this bar right here, this yellow bar, because I like it a lot. Let's copy this. Let's paste that, not in the preview. Let's go back to the editor and paste that right there. Let's update that. Let's look at the preview. I think that's pretty nice. All right, there we go. That's our services page. Now let's do the about. Let's go back or exit out of the editor, the Elementor editor. Let's go back to pages. Let's go to Services, Elementor page. Click on, or command click on Edit with Elementor to open that in a new tab. So we can go back and forth and copy and paste. Let's find the About page, which is here. Let's command click Edit with Elementor. So we can go back and forth and copy and paste things. So we have this About Me page. It's very nice. It's actually pretty much done, I think. I just want to change the header. Do I? I think it looks great. I just want to add a call to action. I want to add that same call me call to action at the bottom, which is this one right here. Give me a call and we'll take some pictures. Get in touch. And I think the rest is, it looks really nice. I don't want to edit this. And it's got this all the same widgets we had before. This has a background with, this is a background image, I'd say. Yeah, it's a background image like cloud, wispy cloud in the background, stormy cloud maybe. And then these are just images in 2 columns using the intersection that we did before. And here we just have image widgets, image elements inside a 3-column section. So we've done all that before, and it looks really nice the way they have it. Let's go to Update. Let's exit to Dashboard. And now we want to do, what's next? I want to do the contact page. The blog we're going to do in the customizer. So let's go to the contact page, Edit with Elementor. We have the same top header for the contact. And in fact, what we'll do is we're going to copy this to the services. Because the services page we created on our own. It probably shouldn't have been the first time we edited back here. We created that one on our own, so it didn't have all the stuff that they had built in for the starter site. So let's just paste this header in. Let's move it to the top. And let's just call this Services. Here is what I do. And let's delete that from here. There we go. Now it fits in more with the rest of the pages, the theme of the rest of the pages. Click on Update, close that. The contact page has the contact element from the home page. It's the exact same as this one right here. Just copied, pasted, and that's all you need. You might want to add a map, which we can do. Let's look up maps for the Elementor widgets. Let's add it down below here. And 21 Jump Street, I don't know if that's a real place, but we're going to find out. 21 Jump Street, San Francisco. Click on the pencil for the map. Currently it's on the London Eye by default. "21 Jump Street, San Francisco." I don't think that's a real place. I know it's an old TV show. Let's just make this San Francisco. Let's just zoom in. Let's go to, I have no idea, I don't know my way around at all in San Francisco. But I think the Palace of the Fine Arts is a good place to be. Yeah, right there, that's good. So we're at zoom level 10, and that's saved. So whatever we save here, that's going to be the zoom level on the page itself. The height changes the height of the widget. Currently it's pretty narrow, and we can change the height to be a little taller, see more of the map, and click on Update. Now we have a nice map widget on the contact page, which is awesome. So now we have all of our pages customized that we want to customize. The ones in the header, I guess the portfolio pages, project details, and photo event. Let's check those out. Project details, edit with Elementor. This came with the starter site, so I'm sure it looks great. Pretty basic, just a project. You could have a list of more projects here if you wanted. Just copy and paste or just duplicate this. Duplicate, maybe switch sides. Put the image over here and put this content, if we can, over there. There we go. Just switch sides, makes it a little more interesting. That's how you can add more projects to this page. Let's update that. I like that page how it is. And photo event, I'm sure is a very nice page as well. Photo exhibition, basically just a gallery. Oh, there's a description here as well. You could add another map here if you wanted. Let's add another map. Google Map right down there. And Histon Museum. I wonder if that's a real place. Let's see. Yeah, it is. There we go. Histon Museum. Nice little map of that. Maybe zoom in a little more. We can zoom in by double clicking on the map or by dragging and dropping our zoom level on the left. There. I think that's pretty good. Update. Exit out of here. Let's go look at our site. Visit the site. We have our home page that we've customized. You see these images came in a little blurry as I was scrolling. That's optimal at work, which is what we wanted. Helps things load faster. Portfolio, project details. We see those here. And photo event. We've got a good looking site so far. We haven't made too many tweaks. And the reason being, the reason to even pick a starter site is you have one that's close to what you want. So you don't have to change too much. And that's the whole idea. If you had to change the entire thing, you might as well start from scratch. Under services, it's like a simple services page. The about page, nice clean about, the call to action at the bottom. Contact page, super simple. The blog page is customized so far to look like this. It looks very nice, but you might want to change that. And the way you change it is with the customizer, not with Elementor. So let's go back into the back end, go to appearance and then customize, and then go to layout, go to blog/archive, and click on blog inside of the customizer. So we actually go to the blog page, which is right here. And what you'll see is we have this one selected. We've got image and text alternating sides as the blog posts go down. And we can change it to the other ones really easily. Just click on them. There's the other one. Super simple. Want to have more than one column? Let's put it in 3 columns. We have 3 posts for 3 columns. That's very nice. We want to have them laid out horizontally or vertically like this. Nice and clean. You can change the excerpt length. Excerpt is the text that you see right here. You can change it by dragging and dropping here. 40 is a pretty common number. We can also change what shows up on the page. Currently, we have the author and the date appearing, which is right here for the metadata. We can also add the category, which may not be applied yet. No, it's uncategorized right now. And comments. There are 0 comments. Those aren't showing up either. It's good to keep author and date. You have an author avatar as well. If you click this check mark, authors in their user profile inside WordPress can add an image to their user profile, and then that would show up here. So you want to make sure there is an image. This looks silly. Looks like nobody is writing these. So you want to have an actual image there if you use the image option. Let's go back out of here. Let's check out the single post. If I click into this post right here, this is what a single post looks like. We can change the layout a little bit for that too. Go to single post. We have title and meta, which is this area up here. And then we have the thumbnail. It's probably not set as a featured image, so it's not showing up here. Then we have the content, then we have the tags, then we have the comments down below. There are no tags, but here are the comments down below. And so you can rearrange these things just by clicking and dragging and dropping. So if I wanted the comments for some reason to be right after the title, just click and drag that, and the comments are right at the very top. It's not commonly done. I just want to show you that's how you can move things around. And we can change the sidebar as well. So if we go back into the main area here, go to content/sidebar, then make sure you click into single post, and you can have the sidebar on the left instead of the right, and you can have no sidebar at all. You can change the width of the content, which changes the width of the sidebar as well if you have the sidebar activated. And clearly this is too much. 96 for the content width and 4% for the sidebar. That's not going to fly. So you want to make sure that the sizes are appropriate for what you're doing. If you don't know what the size was originally, you click on this arrow, that'll revert back to the default. So that's how we can quickly and easily edit the blog page's layout using the customizer. I'm going to click on publish just in case we made changes there. I don't recall if we made any significant changes. Let's click on this X. Let's head back out to the main site. That's not it. This is the homepage editor. Here's the main site now. Let's refresh the blog. We've changed the alignment. Click into any of these. We see our blog post content. Pretty awesome. Let's click on edit post right up here. And here's where you can really easily edit the post. Edit the text, edit whatever you need in the post. Click on update and it updates the post and it then is live on the site. let's visit the site one more time because we are now finished. We've completed this site build. It's a nice little site, super clean, super simple. And again, the idea isn't that you just do exactly what I did. The idea is you learn something from what I did as you follow along, and you apply what you learn to your own projects. And that said, you can copy what I did. It's not copywritten. It's just me making this thing on this video. So feel free if you just want to copy it, but you probably want to make your own thing, make it unique. So that's how we do it. I hope this video helps you. If you haven't done so yet, make sure to click subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss any future videos. And my name is Bjorn Allpass for Theme Al. Until next time, keep crushing it, and I will see you in the next video.